We'll see what kind of music we're gonna get copyright flagged for today. The only thing that I hate about YouTube is like anymore since the artists have got, their panties up in a bunch about, people using their music and all this stuff. It's like,
Jesus.
it's so hard. Like, you literally can't play anything on YouTube without getting flagged for it. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, you'd think that they would want, I mean, if
Exposure.
right, if I was an artist, like, oh wait, that dude used my, my video in his YouTube video,
Yeah.
like, that might have introduced somebody that didn't know my music to my music.
There was
Yeah.
one, I was getting a tattoo done in San Diego, and this song came out, and I was like, what the fuck is that song? I said, I love it, I want to hear it again. So his wife got up and played it. It was Mars,
Oh, nice.
and it's called Prissy and Pizza. And
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it actually has a great moral value to it.
Huh.
Love that song.
Well, and see, now I'll look it up.
It's a great song. And now I'm stuck on it. It's on my playlist.
That's
Freaking
awesome.
loved it.
Yeah, everybody's too damn caught up nowadays. That's mine, that's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see if maybe like in that turn, they would have maybe made it really, really easy for someone like me as a creator of media to reach out to maybe the people who do own the content, the music,
Right.
and say, hey, would you allow me to use this? Especially like, I'm not using it necessarily to make a profit. I'm not,
Right.
so, I could see if I was, filming a commercial ad and it was gonna, but I
Right.
mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing, like, even, I know, a good bit of people that are in bands, like, my really good friend of mine, he's in a punk band, and it's like, his music's on Spotify, so, like, if I played his music, I'd get flagged for it on YouTube, but, like,
Right.
knowing the people who created the music directly, I still don't even have a direct channel that I can say, hey, how could I get permission from you legally to use this on YouTube?
Right.
And I mean, like, there's no channel between the creator and the people who actually own the music.
Right.
Like, and YouTube used to have an online music library, and it was basically just a large library of music, from all the known artists, and they agreed that they could allow their videos to be used in YouTube videos, but if that video ever became monetized, then they received the profits. So like.
That seems fair.
Yeah, and then so like that's the current standing right now. So like some stuff is just completely blocked, but most of it is allowed on YouTube, and all they'll do is they'll give you a little strike, and that's basically all it says is that, okay, well, if this video ever starts making money, you won't get the proceeds from it. But then what it also does, it also then gives me the option to take that song out of there. If if it does become monetized, I can say, okay, well, now you can take the song out, and I'll get all the money from it. So, and the system could be better. But, ever since Napster and all that mess,
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad we were, alive for that.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see here. So, anybody that may be tuning in via YouTube to watch this tattoo, we appreciate your time and interest in the art. We'll try to do more of these more frequently. I will not be able to read the chat, however, though, I am busy. So, if you do want to talk, I don't know what to tell you. Talk to somebody else. And I'm assuming you're ready up there. I forgot that.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Alright. There we go. Now I can read the chat. I got it up on here. Somebody said you're looking good, T-Dog. Tori Whitting.
Oh, that's my work partner's eye.
Yeah.
I did share it. That's
Awesome.
my fiance's pregnant. Say something, who knows?
Lights are lower, they conscious.
Sorry, Nick. Just seen that you were commenting on the video. So we're tattooing skull. Just see, I'll bring up my reference here and so this is the reference we're working on. I don't know how well you can see that. Yeah. Appreciate the follow, the interest. But for anybody that is watching, I know there's only a couple people on here right now, but you know, do all those YouTube things. Like it, share it, and that shit. It's hard to remember to talk and think about the chat. But appreciate you guys hanging out though. It's gotta be probably one of the coolest pieces that I've done. I mean, that's for sure. It's funny too, cause like technically the camera's like upside down, so like the skull is right side up in the live stream. We really tripped out whenever we stand you up and it's upside down. It's like we were talking. I mean, realistically, like it really would work both ways.
Yeah.
It's cool. So yeah, anybody that's watching, just know that we're tattooing this upside down.
My mama told me, son, you could be anything. Long as you spread your wings, I know one day you'll be great. Just wait till you aim up at the sky, and I'll watch it float away. But now that I am older, I'll admit that I am over. All the stress and shit that comes from older like a funny shoulder. Sick of sore, I'm sick of being bored. I'm sick of always stressing over shit I could ignore. I guess you just my own immaturity, burning through me internally. Taking imagination and making it a reality. I'm gone, so fuck it, I'll be right back. Pay a visit to the past, and I'm on to kick my ass. I don't wanna worry about nothing for a while. I just wanna play around, living like a child with old children and I'm walking. Now we're back to it and it's okay. I don't wanna think about anything at all. I just wanna run around doing what I want with a pretty ass girl and it's okay. Now we're back to it and it's okay. I wanna go back to old school, old news, phone booth, fresh print, art school, good rap, dope cat. I'm not trying to be honest, I'm just trying to be honest. Pack lunch, school club, fuck moments like Sonic. I ain't been there, I ain't done that, made my mark up on the town. The future I believe is in a man who's standing clown. Wow, I'm chillin', watching rock with modern rhythm and shit. I could find a way to bring that music television. No more turkey story, horror, horror, people ain't heard it. The shows and great, written or written, but no living or damn. So fuck it, I'll be right back. Pay my dues to the past, but I'll just kick my ass. I don't wanna worry about nothing for a while. I just wanna play around, living out the time with old children and I'm walking. Now we're back to it and it's okay. I don't wanna think about anything at all. I just wanna run around doing what I want with a pretty ass girl and it's okay. Now we're back to it and it's okay.
How you feeling up there?
I'm good.
Awesome. Looking beautiful already. Anybody that's jumped in that I didn't notice, obviously, can't really watch the chat and all that too much, but we appreciate you being here and hanging out for this badass tattoo that we're doing today. If you do like what we're doing here, though, go ahead and like the video. It definitely helps the video get kind of shared around and get some traction. Appreciate any of the likes and the shares. And of course, anybody that subscribes, you can expect more tattoos. I try to do at least one of these a day.
vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, 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 I'm on vacation. If you don't like your life, then you should go and change it. Hey, 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 I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, 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 I'm on vacation every single day, every single day. Every single day, every single day. Every single day, every single day. Everybody sour like a lemon tree. I'm smiling down upon my enemy. You wish you to love it on a daily. You say you hate your job, but you'll never leave, never leave. But that ain't gonna be me, that ain't gonna be me. My brother called me up, said he saw me on TV. I said it wasn't easy, but right now I'm living greasy. Build this engine from the ground up, now my hands they ain't so greasy. Feel me? Hey, hey, I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, 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 I'm on vacation every single day, every single day. Every single day, every single day. Every single day, every single day. Illuminate my future bright, so thankful for everything. Rejuvenate my Carolina, I work hard for all I need. Open arms, embrace the life that no one wish to get me. I was the page, but if I'm not, you know, it's playing me. Close my eyes and tell me to live if I'm not away. I love the life I live, enjoy the ride along the way. I'll make a living out of living, yeah, that's what I say. I got one life to live, and I would live no other way. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, every single day. Every single day, every single day. I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, 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 I'm on vacation. If you don't like your life, then you can go and change it. I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. I'm on vacation every single day, every single day. Every single day, every single day. Every single day, every single day.
This is a fair request, and I promise I will not judge any person only as a teenager. But you will constantly remind yourself that some of my generation dealt with people by their race, their belief, or the color of their skin, and that this is no more right than saying all teenagers are drunken dope addicts or blues sniffers.
Alright, so now we're just about the halfway point, so to speak. We'll switch to doing some shading, so if you want, we can do that stretch, take 5. Alright then. I didn't know if you were gonna get up or not.
I don't know.
I'm gonna put this little thing that just says "Be back in 5."
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Put on some elevator music.
I'm not fighting you, am I? I'm trying to
I
subconsciously
don't
be
think so.
aware of that. Okay. As long as you don't think I am. You know, sometimes your body just does stuff that you don't mean for it to do.
Alright. I'm gonna put this on repeat. There we go. Alright, so if there's anybody watching, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break and then we'll get back and we'll do some more shading and finish this tattoo. But thank everybody for watching. Again, Nick, hopefully you see my answer to that. He said, "What are you drawing?"
Stuff.
Yeah, stuff. Somebody asked something really crazy yesterday while we were streaming. I can't remember what the hell it was though, but it was like such an odd question.
Oh my gosh. Go for your fast.
Yeah, might as well step out soon to listen to that. I literally got it on repeat for the next 5 minutes.
Huh? Yeah, nah.
Music. Well, if there was anybody watching, we've drove them away now. Alright, let's see.
This is a fair request, and I promise.
Alright, we are back. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, you
This
do
is
what
where
you gotta do. Be comfortable, relax.
this is where the magic happens. I'm so excited. It's my favorite part.
Right, shading was my
It
favorite
just
part.
makes everything.
Right.
Tell you up there by the needle, that'll wake you up for a second.
Yeah, right near the bend.
Uh-huh.
I've got portraits on my calves, and the dude who did them, he barely spoke in English. He was one of my best friends when I was in college, and I had thrown a bunch of stuff at him while he was starting to learn to tattoo, you know, and like I'd seen a lot of his drawings and stuff, watched him draw every day, and like he really wasn't doing very well with what I would call like Western style stuff, because like he was from Iraq.
Right.
So like the artwork that he was drawing and looking at every day was completely different than American style tattooing. So like, it's really cool. Like, you know, he messed up a couple to start, but like I said, it was kind of my fault because I was giving him stuff that really he didn't understand how to break it down as a drawing, let alone a tattoo.
Right.
So like, then I was like, okay, well, I guess you know I'll just give him a shot to do something that I know he can draw with his eyes closed. So like. And that just happened to be portraits. So like, I have his first and second portraits that he ever did on my legs, and like, they're better than some portraits that I've seen people that like specialize in doing
great.
portraits. They're just phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So like, took 4 hours to do the first one, and you know he was just so stoked about how it turned out that he wanted to do another one just to kind of solidify that muscle memory, you know. And so we did one and then immediately turned around and did another 4-hour session. So 8 hours of tattooing on fucking both calves, and like for the next 2-3 days it was really hard to walk. My calves were so sore. But probably two of my favorite tattoos. I've got a Boris Karloff, the Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He's on one leg, and then Salvador Dali is on the other leg.
That's awesome.
The Dali one was the one that I originally wanted, but because you know it was his first portrait, he wanted to do something a little bit easier. So the Frankenstein was a little bit easier for him to kind of break it down, and then we did the Dali. So like it's just two of my favorite tattoos, and now he's like somewhere like in the middle of the country right now. He left Pittsburgh, and now he's doing like miniature portraits at this shop that he's working at out there. It's crazy, but it's really cool to know that like I've got his first portraits he's ever done.
That is.
You know, and that kind of set him on the path to what he's doing now. You know, so shout out to Opeth. Slim to none chance that he'd ever find this channel, this stream, but you know, if you're out there, buddy, we're thinking about you. Yeah, super good dude. Best sense of humor I've ever encountered. Like, when I was in college, like that was still, 9/11 was still kind of a sore spot for everybody, and
Right.
he was from Iraq, and he said he barely spoke any English.
Poor guy.
Oh my God, everybody just hated him. He
You
just
have
gave
to
him
have
so
a
much
sense of
shit.
humor to survive some of the ignorance. You would have to.
And that's the thing, he would I'll get banned for saying it, I'm sure. I don't know if you can say the N-word on YouTube Live, but like, he would introduce him to people like, hi, I'm the sand nigger,
God.
it's like, well, you're gonna call me that when I walk away anyway, so here I am. It's like, man, dude, if you didn't have that attitude, dude, you'd be in a world of shit.
Yeah.
Like, it would just eat you alive, but he had the right attitude about it, and he didn't give a fuck, and then, like, I'd introduce him to, like, Wiz Khalifa, because like I said, I mean, like, he came up to me and approached me because I had a bunch of tattoos, so he was like, listen, man, like, can you tell me anything about tattooing? And it just so happened that, I do tattoos as well, so, like, we hit it off immediately, and, because I don't give a fuck where you're from, like, what your background is, man, like,
Right.
we can coexist together over art and nothing else, so, like, it was cool. I like introduced him to like Wiz Khalifa and shit,
That's awesome.
He's like real hardcore into like death metal, which is why we called him Opeth, because that's the name of a really like heavy metal death fucking band. But yeah, he's a good dude. He'd walk around going, ink my whole body, I don't give a motherfucker. Singing all these Wiz Khalifa songs and shit, and then of course, once people seen, how cool he was and seen that he was starting to tattoo and stuff, then everybody wanted to be friends with Opeth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he was a cool dude. Yeah. We have like peepholes on our rooms of our dorms and stuff. And yeah, I knock on the door and it's him like, oh shit, suicide bomber. You know? Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, all I know is bombs and fucking explosions and murder and
Oh my god.
yeah, that's all they teach you in Iraq. Fuck America. Yeah, like, oh my god, he was so fun to be around every day. And the crazy thing is, like, so just like talk about worlds colliding, like obviously what is as an American, what you think of Iraq, you think that like, oh, everybody's a slave and you know everybody's raised to be in war and all this shit, and like, you know, he's actually in an art school over there, you know, like, you know, they have a lot of normal things. Yeah, so like he was telling me about art school over there, and I mean, completely different obviously than art school in the United States, and like he talked about just how strict they are, and like start to understand why, like, every time he would come over, anytime that he was around me, he'd be like, you know, why aren't you drawing? You know, draw something, draw something, draw. I'm like, draw what? Like, what the fuck do you want me to draw? You know, like, we'll draw that, or draw that, or draw that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or draw me, or draw you, or, you know, like, what's your excuse? You know what I mean? Like, draw something. You know, and then, like, we would go over to the south side and shit, to the bars, and not drink a fucking single thing. We would sit there and we would draw portraits of people sitting at the bar. And, it was so cool. Just like you kind of sit back in the shadows and you just sit there and fucking draw people. And
Yeah, that
you know,
would be.
especially like when you know you did a good one, you like, you know, you go up and like, here, yeah, you can have this. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's not creepy.
You did that just now? Yeah, like, you've been staring at me for 20 minutes, man. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, and like he was so good at it. Like, I mean, he could have done anything he wanted with art, but like he was as good. Like he could have just sat on the sidewalk and made money just drawing people. Here, you know, give you $10 for this portrait I drew of you while you're waiting for the bus. You know, like, and just phenomenal detail. You know, like, and just the ability to be able to quickly sketch something, you know, in perfect proportion and detail in a matter of minutes. You know, and they're not even standing still. They're not posing for it. They don't even know you're doing it. You know, so you have to take what you can get quickly, you know, and be able to put that onto paper and have it translate into a drawing. It's like, he taught me so many things that, like, I never on my own would have branched out and done. Like, you know, I never would have sat around and drawn, you know, pop bottles or Coke cans or, you know, stuff like that. But that's still life, you know, so that's obviously a very respected fine art. You know, and that's what they teach you in the art schools over there is those fine arts. And of course, I got, you know, a lot of life drawing and stuff like that at the Art Institute. But like, it was crazy because he was teaching our instructors shit. You know, like he knew more than half the people that were, you know, there to teach us. It was just unreal. And it was like, you know, these instructors were like, dude, I've never said this in my career, but like, you're wasting your time here and your money. You know, like, you don't even need this school. You know, go do whatever it is you want to do, you know, because you've got it. You know, like, everything we're going to teach you here is second hand as far as we're concerned. Like, he already knew it, you know, and they were right. You know, he was phenomenally good. And like I said, not just like, oh, he could draw anything he wanted, but like, as a fine artist, you know, like, he could sit down and draw you the Mona Lisa freehand without a reference. Yeah, and you're like, what in the fuck just happened? You know? And do it well and do it quick. Like, just unbelievable. Yeah, and it was really funny because then, like, I could, like, hey, dude, draw a nautical star. And he'd be so out of his element. He's like, hey, dude, draw me some dice with some flames coming out of it. Maybe a four-leaf clover and some playing cards. You know, and he'd be like, what? That shit doesn't even go over. You know, I mean, like, it goes together, but, like, how am I supposed to, you know, he'd have to get some playing cards, sit it out. You know, he'd have to create that, you know, because some things, you know, he just couldn't create that in his mind, you know, because, yeah, it's just so cool to be around people that were artists in completely different ways than what you are yourself. Like, yeah, I learned so much down there just from people that I was around, not even the classes, you know, like, you know, you learn so much just from being surrounded by other people that are creative, and you know, and you vibe off of people's ideas and that energy. It's just, yeah, it's cool. That was probably the best part about it, you know, just being around other people that were also passionate about creating. Yeah, because in the real world, they're kind of few and far between, depending on where you're at. You know,
Right.
obviously, a lot of places have a lot of culture and a lot of art, but you know, especially with artists, because most of us are like recluse. You know, like
Yeah.
where you know, we're like, I don't know, big crowds, lots of people. I don't know. I think I'll stay home. You know, it's like. That was one of the things that I was told early on whenever I started wanting to do tattoos and started reaching out and trying to meet people that were in the industry to learn, you know, anything I could about it. They're like, well, first thing you do is stay away from artists. You know, you know, for God's sake, just stay away from artists. You know, because they'll just, you know, almost interfere with what your natural process would be. You know, like. No, especially too, like, you know, in the tattoo industry, it's like. Everything's thought out as competition, you know.
Right.
Man, I just like to be around other people, especially because like everybody thinks differently so much, and when you apply that to art, it's like you never know what you're gonna come up with when you get a couple people with different viewpoints and perspectives, you know, in the same room or on the same canvas.
I love diversity in people. I love it.
Yeah, I was told it at a young age, but I never really understood it because, like, whenever you can do it, it's like, you know, it ain't shit. I do this every day, you know. But like, people try to explain it, it's like it's kind of like being a magician, you know, what I mean? Because like you can take a blank piece of paper with absolutely nothing on it, and you can create something in front of somebody that you know didn't exist prior to that, you know. And it's cool because like I would draw stuff, and if I took notice that people were like watching me draw. Is like draw in a way that like kind of leads them on, you know. So like you can draw it in a way that you really have no idea what it is until it's done, you know. And you know people like step back like whoa, you know. I had all these ideas of what like I thought you were doing, you know, and now it's something completely different. You know? It's cool to be able to bring that kind of stuff to life for people, you know, and especially whenever it's with tattoos and somebody brings you an idea. You know, and you can exceed their expectations on something like that's got to be the best part of the job. Anybody that's on here watching, just obviously be aware I'm tattooing at the moment, so I can't really watch the chat too much. But we do encourage anybody to ask questions, join the conversation, start the conversation. Yeah. I am periodically jumping back and forth between my reference and the chat, so I will see it if you do ask a question, if you got something to say to me or the client. Put you on the spot. We appreciate you being here with us for this tattoo. And as always, with all the YouTube shit, you know, you like, share, subscribe. It always helps the channel, helps the video, helps the artwork. The tattoo will look better if you share the stream. It's like those old signs. I used to see them in all these tattoo shops, like, tipping makes it hurt less.
Yes.
Like, yep, that is true.
Yep.
If you tip, it will hurt way less, you know. Yeah.
That's fine. I see those at some places.
And I used to love just that kind of stuff, like, because people's eyes wonder why they're getting tattooed, or, you know, the people that they bring with them. So, like, I always like to have just, like, little things. Like, I had a cheese grater on a shelf in my old shop, and it, you know, just had a sign on it that said free tattoo removal.
Oh, geez.
And, like, you know, 90% of people would see that and know, like, I'm just being an asshole.
Right.
Yeah, like, but that 2% or whatever, people are like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Do you really do that? Oh, yeah, yeah. And if you're that gullible, you know, or that, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna fuck with you. I had a roommate in college that I actually, for a short time, kind of apprenticed with, and just kind of just lost touch with him after I had moved and shit. But this dude, I was sitting on the outside deck at the Art Institute, and here he come walking up, and all he did was put his hand in my face, because he knew well enough that I would know that all I'd have to see is that one tattoo, and I'd know exactly who the fuck that was. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause undeniably, you know, like I watched his whole sleeve be done. You know, like, I didn't do it. The dudes that we were apprenticing under together had done it. But as soon as I seen him, I'm like, you gotta be fucking, like, I haven't seen that tattoo in 10 years. Where the fuck has that thing been?
That's cool.
You know, and from that point on, you know, like, we ended up, you know, talking to the RA at our dorm, and they let us room together and shit. So, like, we had the whole 10th floor, like, pretty much to ourselves, you know, like, it was cool. But he was the same way, you know, like, we're two fucking white dudes, nerdy white kids covered in tattoos, living in the middle of downtown Pittsburgh, and we just love to fuck with people, you know. It's no secret that, I mean, at least back then, I don't know what the consensus is now, but back then, like, if you were white and covered in tattoos, you were probably racist.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and then I would fuck with my Mike all the time. I'm like, you know, I had a shaved head for a little bit too, and he's like, dude, I ain't even going outside with you. You know, you just look like a skinhead, and I'm not going to be associated because, like, I ain't prepared to defend your house. You know, like, it was so funny. Like, we literally put off going to Ohio to a big bike park there until my hair grew back. Like, fuck that, I ain't taking your skinhead white tattooed ass to Cleveland. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it might not be, yeah. But usually BMX and skateboarding, you got a free pass, you know. We'd ride BMX all through the ghetto and shit, you know, and on Homeboy's turf and, you know, all this stuff. We never got, you know, messed with at all. Like, we're just here to grind ledges and rails and jump downstairs. We're not here to sell drugs or buy drugs.
Yeah.
You know, like, they can pretty much tell why we're there. And, yeah, we never got messed with. We, you know, even riding like Homewood and stuff, you know, some of like the worst parts of Pittsburgh, and, you know, and said usually if you're a BMX rider or a skateboarder, you usually get a free pass.
Right.
Jesse said it's looking good. He said beautiful.
Who did?
Jesse Ackley.
Actually, that's my fiance.
Yeah, I didn't think he was calling me beautiful.
Nope, that's legit. That's Jesse, my female.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah.
She's from here her whole life. She's originally ended up in St. Mary's.
Really? Cool.
I met her camping.
Nice.
She thought they couldn't go to bed. She's a third shifter.
That's such a hard schedule to be on.
Oh, stop.
You know, you might as well just forget what the real world is like.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a complete opposite schedule of most of the world. But it's kind of nice though, you know. Like I always enjoyed it just because like I like to be out and about when there's nobody. You know.
Yeah.
Feels like a different world. You know, like Yeah, you're going to work when everybody's going to bed. Yeah. Yeah, I took a short hiatus from tattooing for a couple years just to do some other shit, and was actually doing some in-home health work. And I was working. My normal shift was either midnight to 8 or 4 to 12,
Right.
but we were so short-handed, and then the pandemic and all that happened. I ended up usually working 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. Yeah, so like my whole schedule was messed up, and then like
Oh.
trying to find time to actually do real world shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like hardly enough time to sleep. So what's the longest you've ever sat for a tattoo?
4 hours.
Okay, not too bad.
Is what my sleeve right there.
I would say that's probably about the threshold for most people. You know, like after
Yeah.
4 hours, like on both ends, we're pushing it. You know, like whether it's the client or the artist, like
You're bone tired by that point.
right, and realistically,
Okay,
just
now it's almost 10:30.
okay. Start to wait. Unless you want to push it back, it doesn't matter.
No, I just wanted to tell you real quick.
right, thank you. I do like doing the long sessions. They're like I get pretty excited like whenever I know I've got like a 4, 5, 6 hour session. You know, because like with that, you really feel like if both parties know going in, like that's the amount of time we're trying to sit and we're trying to get a good bit of stuff done. It's so nice on mine because like you feel so relaxed, like you feel like you have so much time to move through the piece.
Right.
You know, like plus too, like that's the one thing that's so wow. That's like the shitty side of the tattoo world is like, you know, sometimes you'll start a drawing or you know a piece of artwork and you might only be able to do a quarter of it. You might only be able to do a half of it, you know. And then we got to wait maybe 2 weeks at best, you know, or maybe a month. You know, sometimes financial constraints, you know, it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine being a painter. I'm like, okay, I'm going to paint, you know, I'm going to do the background, you know, and in a couple months, you know, maybe do the shading. You know, it's like, it's crazy whenever you're like super into a piece. It's like, fuck, well, you know, hey, they can only sit for 2 hours today. Like, we got to stop it here. You know, you got to find these little stopping points, you know, and then be able to jump back into it, you know, like, you know, I love the things like that are unique to tattooing, you know. You know, because a lot of time that session isn't dictated by, you know, how long can you sit or how much time do I have. You know, when money's into a factor, it's like, well, you know, like, hey, we got to work within that budget and we got to be able to do enough of it to get it started and get the foundation of it done, but within their budget and their constraints. Like, yeah, it's a lot of variables. Yeah, but I think, you know, that's what, like I said, it's like, it makes tattooing so unique in the realm of art in general. It's like, it's so different than so many other mediums of art.
Sure. I think the worst decision I ever made was to do my sleeve in the beginning of summer.
Oh, yeah, right.
I couldn't swim because I was going back every 2 weeks for like 4 weeks straight, and I was like, man, I can't do shit.
Yeah, just like this, just get in the water with your arm up.
I can't swim, I can't, keep that was done. That was one of those lessons learned.
Right. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't even really think about that. But even so, we have, you know, another dude. I mean, we're working on a couple big projects, and like he's like, well, I was waiting, you know, until it was gonna start cooling off and everything to get this done. You know, so you know, you have to have it covered up at work, and you can't be sweating on it. You know, so like, got to be able to keep it protected.
favorite part.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's gotta
Oh,
feel
that
good.
feels so nice.
Fine.
What?
I don't know if she's back here or not. Just gotta do the red now, and then we're all set.
Nice.
I was hoping she was in here. I was gonna use the other machine, but no worries.
What is your preferred aftercare? I always like to ask everybody 'cause it's, most
Absolutely.
of it's the same, but some of it's different.
I mean, my best recommendation would be Aquaphor,
Mm-hmm.
just because it has some extra vitamins in it that kind of expedite the healing process.
Now the lotion or because don't they have one that almost looks like Vaseline?
That's exactly
Oh,
what I'm
there you
talking
go.
about.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly what I
same
have.
consistency, right?
Yeah.
As the Vaseline, because Vaseline will work. Vaseline's better than like an A&D.
Yeah, no, that's what I've always used, or just a non-scented,
Right.
non-perfumed, like, yeah.
Yeah, because really at the end of the day, I mean, like, everybody is going to have something that works best for them. You know, like, everybody's
Right.
different. But that's, you know, pretty much a cure-all. I mean, that's obviously, like, the go-to, like, if you have children and stuff like that, just because it's got no extra chemicals in it. It's got nothing that's going to cause any irritation. Plus, it's got a chemical compound that allows your skin to breathe through it, as opposed to it suffocating that, which, as you know, in a tattoo, is not good. You don't want it to be suffocated. You want it to be able to breathe, because that obviously promotes healing. So like, it's better than E&D in some things, but like, my dad, he uses bag balm.
Oh,
Yeah, and
that is,
that shit's for like calendars.
it's good stuff.
It is, and that's what I mean. Like, it's been around for hundreds of years.
It
you know?
has. I use that on my children's diaper wraps because it was
Yeah,
just so
see?
bad. My Lanta and bag balm. Sometimes the older generation, they knew what they were doing.
Right. Well, and it is just, you know, for dry, you know, chafing, flaking skin, you know, like, I mean, it really is, you know, good for that.
Do they still recommend? I've not heard recommendations of A&D ointment in years.
I mean,
I think we might as well make this
in
educational.
the earlier days, I mean, like, you figure 10, 20 years ago, you know, that was probably mentioned more often than it is now. But like I said, with a little bit more attention on the tattoo industry, we've learned that, you know, hey, there are things that work better than that. You know, there's a lot of things that are kind of counterproductive with A&D. Like I said, as far as like, if you're not mindful about how much you're putting on, you could be kind of working against yourself, you know, or at least against the tattoo healing process, you know, like, so you could actually be prolonging the healing, you know, if you over moisten or it's too thick, or, you know.
Right.
So yeah, the Aquaphor is, you know, definitely our number one recommendation. I mean, obviously now it's a little bit easier to get stuff like Walmart has like a tattoo goo kit, you know, that comes with like, I know, it's like, I would have never in a million years thought I'd see the day, but like, I grew up in that generation where tattooing wasn't really that popular. So like, it's cool, because like, oh yeah, I got that at Walmart. I'm like, are you fucking, yeah. And they do, a whole kit, and it's got like the aftercare, it's got like a little, and it's actually Tattoo Goo brand. So I mean, like, so I'm saying that, as you know, if you've, you know, been getting tattooed for the last 10, 20 years, Tattoo Goo is usually like what the name brand of tattoo aftercare.
Right.
You know, and then it switched to like, then there was that H2 Ocean is always really good. I used their piercing solution, their sea salt solution, for a long time, and it's good stuff. And now they make a foaming solution for tattooing. Cam's Tat Wax was the original. That's what I remember. Like, I would keep all of the tins from my dad's tattoos. And I had all these little empty aftercare tins of Cam's Tat Wax. And, yeah, it's cool. It had a little devil and shit on it, you know, like, yeah, I got tattoo balm. Yeah. Yeah, the old tattoo clear coat. Because it's nice. Like you can use that stuff even after it's healed, and it kind of gives your tattoos a little bit of shine.
Right.
Yeah, makes them look new again. Alright, so anybody's jumping in, we're just about finished up here. You can always watch the lives back though, thankfully. Alright, as you can see, I had this beautiful design here with this skull skeleton, and breeds into some beautiful mountains and trees. I love that the trees itself, like, kind of did them as like a traditional Japanese painting. You know, same thing with the sun. It's got that watercolor-esque. Same thing with the leaves and the trees. So, and like I tell anybody, obviously, with any of that stuff, like with the no outline stuff or the watercolor style stuff, if any of that lightens up, obviously, at any point in time during the tattoo or the healing process, you let us know and you come on back and we'll touch it up, clean it up. Also, if there's anything else that, like in the gray wash, but I think you're all set there. That's a beautiful looking piece. Let me just lean this over real quick for the viewers. There are a couple people on there. So here's what we got. Now, as you can see, a lot of that redness is obviously because of the green soap and the fact that we just tattooed it for about 2 hours or so. So, you know, subscribe and keep up on the channel. You'll probably end up seeing a healed picture of this in a couple weeks. But I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.